Hey guys, well it is time to get the Camaro out in the fresh air and out of the shop for the first time of the 2018 season. If you guys saw the aftermath video from Allen County, that was a pretty good walk around where I took you guys around this car and showed you all the things that were wrong with it. That was a pretty good walk around where I showed you all the things that is wrong with it and the things that need to be repaired and fixed. So I'm going to go ahead and just post a link up in the upper right corner so you guys can check that out for yourselves. Make sure to give that a good watch. So that way I don't have to go in detail of everything, but I'm going to give you just a quick walk around just the same. For those of you that watch the video all the way till the end, you'll get a nice little teaser here towards the end of the video where I'm going to get this thing hopefully fired up and moving for you guys. As far as the front end goes, it is pretty solid. I've actually been quite impressed with the way that it's held up. It's actually coming up ever so slightly in the front, but I think that's mainly just the bumper bending and not the actual front end of the car itself. So we're going to see how well that continues to go on. Carburetor is an issue. That's what gave us the trouble in both of our derbies. It just did not want to run strong. It ran okay and actually fairly strong in my opinion in the shop prior to the derby, especially the last one, but shortly after a few hits it just died and it never really wanted to run quite right since. It ran okay when it pulled itself into the shop. But you know, still not tip-top from what I would expect this thing to be running. So either we need to get a new carb that's maybe like a Rochester or something that's a conversion to fit. This is an inline 2-barrel, so it's rather unique. Or I can maybe buy a carburetor that is a drop-in stock replacement, so I might have to do that. I got a buddy that has one of those, so may have to hit him up for that. Back end, totally different story. It's bending in rather weird, I have to say, and it's going to be kind of hard to show it on film, but there's this main ridge that runs right through here between the rear wheel wells, and it is actually moving this whole back end. If you can envision the floor pan and this area of the speaker deck, that is all shifting forward instead of actually folding down below where I was wanting it to. And I think a lot of it has to do with the fact of how rusty it was along this area, so it's just kind of pushing on in. So that is really unfortunate and kind of hard to fix at this point. So what we're going to do is just do our best to control it. We're going to bring in both the fenders. You can see down here that we're basically touching, might as well be touching. So it's enough we can drive, but not good enough for a derby. So we're going to definitely push in the rear quarter there in as hard and as far as we can. Probably use a chain binder, bobcat, and some other things to make that happen. Gonna probably leave the rear bumper alone. Honestly, I think that'll be okay. That part of it's actually rolling okay. It's kind of, again, maybe hard to capture in film, but that part's actually rolling versus the front section here that's just pushing up and in. So we're gonna have to fix that. Same story on this side. It's pushed in fairly decent, but we got to get that front corner pushed up in. I know it exposes the rear wheels, but at least then I know that I'm not going to have sheet metal getting into the wheels and causing issues for me later on. And we have all this 9-wire that we had put into the back end. We were allowed unlimited in the last derby that I ran, so I just did some cross X's here just to try to get some strength, but obviously there's a fair bit of slack. You can kind of see this one, it's actually got, you know, a couple inches of play now for sure. Same thing with the one going side to side, and even these guys up in the front. This one has a little bit of tension, but not much. Nothing to write home about in the inside, that's all the same, and this side door really got pushed in quite bad, so we're gonna go ahead and try to pull that out if possible. If it doesn't work out, well, then we'll just leave it and run it the way it is, you know, maybe put some new sheet metal over top of it or something. But there you go, guys. There's a quick walk around of the Camaro. As I said, be sure to check out the aftermath video of this car after its last run, so you can see things that were maybe a little more fresh. I could talk about some of the hits that I had. You know, it just kind of starts to lose my mind a little. I lose my mind a little bit with all this stuff, so make sure to check that out for yourself. And I'm gonna go ahead and end this video with a little thing that if you guys stayed on and watched it all the way through it, you get to see, and that is we're gonna fire this thing up for the first time here and drive it out of the shop. So we're excited to see if this thing can fire up and run for you guys, so stay tuned for that. So there you go, guys, we got it over here in our temporary shelter, enough to get it out of the weather and hopefully keep it dry once we throw the tarp over top of it, just for safe measure. I think we'll be all right. And here it'll sit for a little while until we can get it pulled out and get some work done. So there you go, guys. Give us a thumbs up if you liked the video, subscribe if you have not already done so, and as always, we hope you have a great day, and until the next video, we'll talk to you later, guys.